It is irrational, with all due respect to the governor of Texas, irrational what they're doing. On the very day you see a mass shooting, I guess the numbers now, I was on a plane the last 2.5 hours, they got up to 5 killed.
How many gunmen? Not sure how many people have been shot. Don't know how many people have been killed. The condition of those who have survived. Don't know what the motivation is. Do not yet know the firearms that were used or how they acquired them. But we do know this is up.
And we're talking about loosening access to have guns, be able to take them into places of worship, store them in school. I mean, it's just absolutely irrational. It's totally irrational. And it's all about special interest. And it has to stop. It has to stop.
Let me start by saying today, if it's an average day in America, 7 children and teenagers will die from gun violence. Won't make headlines, most of them. It'll happen in neighborhoods and that don't get covered in the news. It'll fall particularly hard on communities of color.
The idea that we don't have elimination of assault-type weapons, magazines that can hold multiple bullets in them, is absolutely mindless.
It is our responsibility to put a stop to that. That's where we have to start, the urgency of this moment. That's part one.
It is no violation of the Second Amendment. It is it's just a bow to the special interest of the gun manufacturers and the NRA. It's got to stop.
Part two is, think about what I just talked about corruption. Corruption is what keeps Congress from doing the people's business. The overwhelming majority of Americans want to see us take sensible gun safety regulations. They want to see us change the laws.
And those who say, maybe some do, that the tree of liberty is watered with the blood of patriots, meaning you got to be able to have enough power to take on your government.
Universal background checks, assault weapons off our streets, get rid of bump stocks, and the ability to fire weapons in a short period of time. There are a lot of things we could be doing.
Well, you need an F-15. You need an M1 tank. You need flamethrowers. You need bazookas. No, I'm serious. If that's the rationale, okay?
So why doesn't it happen? And the answer is corruption. It's corruption. Right now, we have a Washington that is held hostage by the gun industry and the NRA. That has to stop.
Now, that has not been the rationale for the Second Amendment, in most scholars' view. But here's the deal. We've always been able to say certain people should not own a weapon. A person who, in fact, beats and abuses his wife and convicted of it should not be able to get a weapon.
So here's my pitch on guns. We need to set a goal. My goal is we need to cut deaths by 80% from gun violence. That includes suicide, domestic violence, mass shootings, neighborhood shootings, and not rest until we've done it. So thank you.
A person who's engaged in violence should not be able to get a weapon. A terrorist should not be able to purchase a weapon. I can go on the list. That's why universal background checks are absolutely required. And they do not violate anyone's Second Amendment right. They do not violate anyone's Second Amendment right.